Hi.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? What's your name?
I'm good. My name is Diluk.
Your name is Ritik.
Diluk.
Dilok. Okay, Dilok. You are in which class?
Grade 9.
Grade 9. Okay. Uh, all right. So, shall we start? Are you
Okay.
ready? Are you nervous?
Not that much.
Not that much. Okay. So my name is Ritasoma. I'll be teaching you English today. Uh, you are settled where now, Dilok?
Like where I live?
No. Where are you living in?
Oman.
Oman. Okay. I'm from India and I'll be helping you with English. But before I help you out, I need to know like where do you find some problems? Where are you struggling? Where can I help you?
Like in the text, right? Like,
Yeah. So when your classes, I believe it started in back in May, right?
yeah, around that.
Yeah. So I think a chunk of your syllabus has already been covered, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you finding the difficulty?
Like in like quotations and explanations.
In quotations and explain. Have you tried reading the text thoroughly?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And have you tried practicing the answers by your own, or did you take some assistance of your teachers and so on?
Like when writing essays, I do it on my own.
Okay. And what was the feedback?
Like sometimes, like it's good, but then sometimes it's also bad.
Sometimes it's also well, it's fine, but sometimes it's good. Okay. When I ask you to write an essay in particular, what structure do you follow of an essay?
The pin method.
Like, suppose I ask you to write an essay on the title of that particular story, okay, on that
Yeah.
particular text. What is exactly the flow in which you will be writing? What is the structure, or how will you organize your thoughts?
So first I'll give the point, then after I'll give the explanation on that point, then I'd use a quotation to support my like evidence, and then I link it.
Okay. And in terms of structure, don't you have to follow about how to address the question that is demanded of you, and then explaining the content, and finally putting up your opinion, and finally drawing the conclusion? You're not following that structure?
We don't like tell our opinion. We just like summarize the entire like what we read about.
summarizing
Mm,
summarizing and finally giving one or two lines, like how you felt about it, whether this was a justifiable title or not, like the example I just gave you right now, whether you have to write a story on justifying the title or not. You don't follow that structure, right?
yeah.
So what we are going to do is, today is our first class. Owing to that respect, we are going to discuss a little bit of the structure. Okay.
Okay.
Mm, do you have a notebook with you perhaps today?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take it out. All right. The first things first, you are going to share with me the syllabus, okay, which you're following, and also mark up the portions which has already been covered. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Now?
Yeah.
All right. So the text which you usually have in your curriculum revolves mostly about opinions of the writers and their personal anecdotes on that particular topic, how they have
Yeah.
faced it, and their own stories, their relevance to it in terms of the context, relevant times, and so on. Now, there are different elements when we have to treat any content. Okay, elements in the sense that there are like areas where you have to discover that portion of the text in a different way. How do we do that? Suppose these are all the kind of portions which you have in any content. Even when you're reading a storybook, perhaps you have all these contents, these kinds of content. Okay. Each content will be having these elements: the title of the content, there will be certain characters, there will be a problem which would be very integral, the core of the core idea of the entire content. There will be 5 W's and 1 H, something which we will be doing, we'll be understanding as a whole. There will be the element of suspense, which would keep you anticipating that what's going to happen as you move forward. There is going to be a struggle in between the characters, or a personal struggle within the character to achieve their relevant goal or target. There will be an inclusion of the 5 senses through description by the writer, and finally the conclusion. And the questions that you usually get is basically related to all of these. Sometimes you do get questions where you have to talk about the different literary devices which are used, and that is also based on all these elements. Okay, so these elements, which you can call, are your primary elements of any content. Mostly your texts are stories, but there are also texts where it is more of an essay, where the writer has shared their own opinion using some case studies or certain personal anecdotes that they have already used. Okay, so whenever you are going to read a chapter, we will be focusing on, we'll be obviously understanding the chapter as a whole in a generic purpose. But when we are going to analyze that particular chapter, we are going to analyze using these different elements. Okay, like the title, the justification of the title, the types of characters, what characters, their psychophysical, psychological, social, and economical makeup, and so on. The problem the content is targeting, and so on. Okay. English is not just a subject, but it is a language. And when you have to learn about English, you need to learn about English as a whole, not simply as language or literature. Like, I might have a problem with language. I might be very good with the literature part, but that does not really make much of a sense. When we have to study English, we'll study the whole. And you will see magically, when you are dividing any chapter among these elements, if you are thorough with all these elements, this is going to help you with your language paper as well.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Is this English or literature?
English literature.
Okay.
You wanted help with literature, right? I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am telling, English is not just a subject. You cannot treat English as a subject that, okay, I'll learn literature, I will not learn language. It is going to be like that. It is very interconnected. Just like all your science subjects, chemistry, physics, biology, they are very interconnected. This is also going to be the same. So defining any content, understanding any chapter in your literature, you have to understand these core concepts. Okay. And this will in turn help your language paper as well. Okay. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Now, analyzing these elements is going to further take you to the writing portion, where you are further going to decode these portions into other other creative elements. Okay. Now, there are different topics on which your chapters are based on. Okay. You have the gender, you have the race, the caste, class, importance, emotions, structure, conflict, character types, connect with the self, connect with the surroundings, and so on. So these various topics needs to be judged and finally assimilated to back to these particular things. Now you give me any one chapter from your syllabus which is already covered in school, and I'll show you what I just